Hello, everybody. Before we get into today's questions, I need to address something because I've had a lot of you send me the same video over the past couple of weeks. I'm not going to name it or link it because, honestly, it doesn't deserve any more views than it's already gotten. But it's sitting at over 1 million views right now, and it is completely, dangerously wrong about almost everything it says. And here's the part that really concerns me. The person in that video isn't even a real person. It's an AI-generated image designed to look and sound like someone who knows what they're talking about. I've reported a handful of these channels already. A lot of them are coming out of overseas operations, generating a convincing-looking face and voice and using it to hand out financial advice to American seniors who have absolutely no way of knowing it's fake. So today, I'm going to go through the 5 biggest claims in that video, tell you exactly what's true and what isn't. And then we'll get into your live questions, because that's really the heart of what we do here. Quick reminder for anyone new. My name's Ed. I spent years running one of the largest Social Security field offices in the country, and now, in my semi-retirement, my whole job here is making sure you're getting every benefit you're actually entitled to, and not falling for anything that's going to hurt you. If that's useful to you, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications, because I do this regularly, and I'd rather you hear it from someone who's actually sat across the desk from real cases like yours than from a computer-generated face reading a script written by nobody knows who. All right, claim number 1 from that video. Stop paying your federal income taxes. I wish I could tell you that was a real option. It is not. If you're required to file, you're required to file. And the IRS does not forget about people. Now, here's the actual nuance that video skipped entirely. There are plenty of seniors who genuinely don't owe federal income tax, and some who don't even have to file a return at all because their income falls below the threshold. The IRS has a free tool right on their website. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes, and it tells you definitively whether you need to file and whether you owe anything. That's the real answer. Not stop paying, but go check, because you might already owe nothing. And remember, that tool only covers federal. Plenty of states have their own filing requirements, even when the federal government doesn't. Claim number 2. And this one's been repeated so often by so many people that I understand the confusion. There's no tax on Social Security now. That is not accurate. What actually passed is a new deduction, up to $6,000 for an individual, $12,000 if you're married filing jointly. That's a deduction against your overall taxable income. It has nothing to do with whether your Social Security benefits themselves get taxed. Those are 2 completely separate things. Whether your Social Security is taxable still depends on your combined income the same way it always has. If you're single and your total income is under $25,000, none of your Social Security is taxable. Between $25,000 and $34,000, up to half of it can be taxed. The rules didn't change. The deduction is real, and it can genuinely help some people. But it is not the same thing as no tax on Social Security, and anyone telling you that flatly is wrong. Have you run into someone repeating that exact claim, that there's no tax on Social Security at all? Tell me in the comments, because I think a lot of people have heard this somewhere and taken it as settled fact. Claim number 3 is actually the one piece of that video that pointed at something real, even if it didn't explain it well. Property tax relief. If you're a senior, a veteran, or receiving disability benefits, a lot of states, counties, and even individual municipalities offer property tax discounts that most people never apply for. I've even heard from viewers that some housing offices will apply proof of your Medicare Part B premium payments toward rent assistance in certain programs. It's worth asking, even if the answer is no. So if you're watching this, tell me your state and county, and let's compare notes. Somebody else watching right now might be sitting on a benefit they didn't know existed in their own area. This next one is important, so let's slow down for a second. Claim 4. Don't pay your Medicare premiums. Here's the actual truth, and it's almost the opposite of alarming. About 99% of people don't pay a monthly premium for Part A at all. You only pay for Part A if you didn't work the required 10 years paying into the system. So for the vast majority of you, that claim is solving a problem you don't have. Part B is a different story. That premium is real, and it's required if you want that coverage. But here's what that video left out entirely. If you're struggling to afford your Part B premium, there's a real program called the Medicare Savings Program, run through Medicaid in your state. If you qualify, the state pays your Part B premium for you. There's an estimated $30 billion in benefits like this going unclaimed every year nationally, simply because people don't know these programs exist. That's the actual story that video should have told you. Claim 5 was about tax preparation fees, and the honest truth is, there are real, free resources for this. Every tax season, we've got regular viewers in our community who show up specifically to share where to get free filing help. And legal aid clinics through law schools and local bar associations can help with a lot more than just taxes, too. None of that requires paying anyone, and definitely doesn't require trusting an AI-generated stranger online. Before we move into your live questions, I want to flag something serious that several of you have written in about. Medicaid cutoffs happening without warning, especially in places like Ohio. With the federal budget law that passed, billions have been cut from Medicaid funding, and states are scrambling. Some people are getting dropped from coverage with no letter, no notice, just bills suddenly showing up. If that happens to you, do not just reapply from scratch. Reapplying often means a brand new start date, and you eat the cost of everything in between. File an appeal instead. Most states allow what's called a good cause exception if you missed the appeal deadline because you genuinely never received notice. Tell them exactly that, in writing if you can. And on a related note from a viewer question, if you sold a business or had a major one-time capital gain, understand that Medicare looks back 2 years on your tax return to determine your Part B and Part D premiums through something called IRMAA. If that pushes your income above certain thresholds, your premium can jump by hundreds of dollars a month, starting 2 years later. You can't appeal it before you've actually received that determination letter. But once you do, the form you want is the SSA 44. And a one-time event like a business sale or home sale can sometimes qualify for an adjustment. It's worth trying, even if it's not guaranteed. So here's the real takeaway from all of this. Confident delivery is not the same thing as accurate information. And right now, there are entire channels built on AI-generated faces telling millions of seniors things that are simply false, sometimes in ways that could genuinely hurt you financially. The antidote isn't complicated. When you hear a claim like, "Stop paying taxes," or "No tax on Social Security," go straight to the source. The IRS has free tools that give you a real answer in minutes. Your state Medicaid office can tell you definitively what you qualify for. And if something doesn't sound right, ask someone who's actually done this work. If this helped clear anything up, subscribe and turn on notifications, because I'll keep doing this, calling out what's false and walking through what's actually true, one claim at a time. Now let's get into your live questions, because that's really why we're all here.